Sup gamers, Randy Potato here to rank all of the skills on the Man-at-Arms. If you enjoy the video, don't forget to subscribe. I post new videos every day. Crush is his base melee attack, usable from the front 2 against the front 3 ranks, doing a base 4 to 7 damage, 6 to 8 on upgrade. Crush also utilizes combo tokens, earning a self-heal of 10%, 20% on upgrade, which is very significant with his high base HP pool. It is strongly buffed by Man-at-Arms' best path, Vanguard, while being nerfed by his other 2 paths. Even with the nerfs, however, this is a crucial skill on almost every Man-at-Arms build. The damage is pretty solid and consistent, and the reach to rank 3 is very strong, something no other dedicated tank class in this game really has. On Vanguard, this makes him a respectable DPS in addition to his other roles. This is the only way he has of self-healing, which is outclassed by the other tanks of course, but has no cooldowns or other limitations if you can consistently apply the combo. It's this utility that slots this easily in the universally useful tier, though it's not quite OP because the damage is merely average outside of Vanguard. Rampart is a front 3 to front 2 rank melee shield attack, dealing 3 to 6 damage, 4 to 7 on upgrade, moving Man-at-Arms forward 1 rank, knocking back the target 1 rank, and applying a daze. On upgrade, this also stuns on combo. It's strongly buffed by his bulwark path, gaining both big damage and an increase in stun chance. This is one of only 2 attacks he has that can be used for rank 3, which is useful mostly if he gets knocked back, and also slots him well in a movement-based comp. The knockback is significant in a number of fights where enemy positioning matters, such as cultist encounters. The daze is also extremely powerful, not only because the base effect allows your whole team to go ahead of the opponent, allowing you to potentially eliminate the threat before they act, but since double daze is a stun, you can pair Man-at-Arms with another daze hero, such as the Leper or Plague Doctor, to build a consistent stun team. The stun on a combo upgrade is also quite powerful by itself. It doesn't do as much damage as Crush and lacks the range of course, and not all team comps are happy with movement, but this still slips into the back of the universally useful tier because of its wide-ranging utility. Defend is an any rank to any rank buff, giving Man-at-Arms 2 block tokens and applying 2 guard tokens to an ally of your choice, which stop that ally from being hit by most enemy attacks. AoEs that hit both Man-at-Arms and your ally can't be defended. On upgrade, these blocks turn to block plus and you get 3 guard tokens. This is a solid early game and emergency equip that allows your tank to mostly protect a fragile ally. With no cooldowns or other restrictions, it's quite consistent in its task, though as said before, it does not protect certain AoE attacks, and if enemies are persistent on a given turn, they can burn through your guard tokens, especially unupgraded. It sort of falls off late game as well, with his taunts being mostly superior, but does gain some synergy with Chaplain Vestal, his own signature in-item, and it's useful against the Act 3 boss. Often it's hard to fit on his bar with the variety of flashier skills, but it's never a bad equip and fits easily atop the solid tier. Bolster is another any rank to any rank buff with a 1-turn cooldown. This is his stress heal, healing 1 stress from both the Man-at-Arms and the ally of your choice if the threshold of 5 has been reached, as well as adding a block token to Man-at-Arms and removing Vuln from the target. On upgrade, this becomes a 2 stress heal on both heroes. The block upgrades to plus, and you also remove weak on your target. This is an absolutely incredible always equip, and almost always a priority in one upgrade. Stress is at the center of this game, and a skill that can push 2 heroes down below the negative bark threshold of 4 is absolutely insane. The other benefits are nice, but not very noteworthy. All you need to know is this move should always be equipped, and is always a priority upgrade that completely solves the stress game in the majority of your runs. Easy OP tier. Hold the Line is a melee shield attack usable from the back 3 ranks to the front 3 ranks. It does base 3 to 6 damage, 4 to 7 on upgrade. The skill moves you forward 3 ranks, gives you a block token, and adds an immobilize token. On upgrade, this becomes 2 blocks and you also gain a stun with combo. The skill is further buffed by Bulwark Path. This is obviously not as spammable as Rampart. This is much more of an emergency use case if you're either completely knocked back to the back row and need to recover, or most notably in certain fights like the Harvest Child where you like being immobile. The block is nice, but outside these narrow use cases, there's never really a reason to equip this skill. It's certainly not bad, but Rampart fills every other role fine. in the solid tier behind Defend. Bellow is a full party ranged AoE debuff, usable from any rank. This skill will reduce enemy speed by 3, as well as removing riposte tokens. On upgrade, this will lower speed by 5 and remove crit tokens as well. This has broad use, especially in the early game, as an easy way to strip dodge tokens in difficult fights such as the cult encounters and creature dens. The speed debuff is of course very nice in certain scenarios, though it's not super reliable to the point that I use it often in that respect. It is also very strong in other specific niche cases like the Exemplar or Act 2 Cultists, where you like removing both riposte and crit tokens. It does have trouble fitting on most bars outside of these scenarios, and is often a dead button, but still definitely slots in the solid tier between Defend and Hold the Line. Next up we have Retribution, a self buff usable from any rank that adds 2 taunt tokens and 2 riposte tokens to your man-at-arms. On upgrade, you also gain 2 block tokens. It has a 1-turn cooldown and the riposte is buffed by Vanguard, while being nerfed with its 2 other paths. This is at the same time an elite tanking skill and a very strong DPS move with Vanguard, giving you absolutely insane action economy. Not only are you tanking 2 enemy hits, but you're delivering 2 deceptively powerful strikes back as well, stripping tokens, dealing damage, and occasionally outright eliminating opponents. There are very few cases where I don't just spam this button when it comes off cooldown. It's just that useful. Even on paths where the damage is nerfed, it still has the same utility, and there's never really a scenario where it's not on my bar. Easily OP tier skill, probably slightly below Bolster because stress relief is still king. Command is an any rank to any rank buff that removes blind from your ally while applying a strength token with a 1-turn cooldown. On upgrade, this cooldown is removed. This is a nice little buff that unfortunately pales in comparison to a lot of his stronger abilities. A naked strength token is almost never worth a button press by itself, so the only real use cases for this skill are in repetitive blind fights. The Act 2 boss and cultist encounters are the 2 main places where this skill shines, though it's still relatively slow. It's pretty strong with Leper as well, of course, though Leper has his own ways of countering blind and adding strength if you'd like your man-at-arms to be doing something a bit more useful. It also helps if you have an ally with a blind quirk that can't immediately be removed. It's certainly not a bad skill, but it's a situational equip outside of rank 4 buff bot man-at-arms, probably just edging out Bellow in the solid tier. Stand Fast is a front 2 rank self-buff skill that adds 2 immediate block tokens and an additional block token on the subsequent 3 turns. On upgrade, these block tokens all become plus, and you also remove combo on yourself, and the cooldown is reduced from 2 to 1. With Bulwark Path, this also adds 2 taunt tokens. While this amount of block is always welcome, outside of 2 niche scenarios, this is only ever equipable on Bulwark Path, where it becomes a dominant tanking solution, able to be alternated with Retribution once upgraded. This excels in 2 of the toughest fights in the game, first with Exemplar, where the combo removal is key to preventing his exaltation, and most prominently in the Act 3 boss fight, where it completely negates the damage taken from Limerence once upgraded. While it's mostly useless outside of these scenarios are important enough that this is still a solid tier skill, probably somewhere between Defend and Command. Courageous Abandon is one of the dumbest memes in Darkest Dungeon 2. This is a rank 1 to rank 1 quote-unquote nuke that does 3 to 6 damage and 5 to 7 on upgrade. It also ignores block and applies self-vuln on a 2-turn cooldown. The gimmick of this skill is you gain 100% damage if you have a block token, and an additional 100% damage if you have a block plus token. The skill then removes all of your block. The biggest problem with this skill is the setup is multiple turns at the minimum, all for a skill that even at max pales in comparison to other big setup nukes like Finale or Chop. It's also hella restrictive, which makes it exclusively a boss killer, except it doesn't actually kill bosses, and you'd much rather have your man-at-arms do other things against bosses. Just don't use this. 0 out of 10. Do not pass go. Easy trash tier. And finally, Strategic Withdrawal. Usable from the front 2 against the front 2 ranks, this skill moves you back 1, doing 3 to 6 damage, and 4 to 7 on upgrade. It also applies a combo token and has a 1-turn cooldown. On upgrade, this skill also adds a speed token, as well as healing yourself at Death's Door. Unupgraded, this is kinda a male ability, The combo is sometimes useful, but moving back is not something you generally do as a man-at-arms. Mostly just an emergency equip if you have a hero that needs to be in rank 1, like Hellion or Leper. On upgrade, however, this becomes a powerhouse. With the speed token, you can immediately take advantage of the combo if you want to run a little 1-2 stun game, or need to pick up a guaranteed crush heal. This is also a massive emergency heal on Death's Door, which isn't an often occurrence, but is still nice to have on your bar. Not all teams are really mobile, and often you'd just rather be doing other things than multiple turn setups, so unfortunately this falls out of the universally useful tier, but it sits atop the solid tier with a very high upside. Overall, the Man-at-Arms has the broadest and most useful kit in the game, with only one glaring weak spot, excelling primarily as a tank, but also being elite with stress relief, general support, and even his DPS. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to subscribe. I post new videos every day.